Today I will be shadowboxing to really look at my technique. I will be hitting the bag to really look at my technique. And then finally, probably the worst one of them all, VR boxing. I'm gonna do a VR boxing round to really look at my technique. I'm curious to see the big changes of all three things. They're all very different. I mean, think about it. One, shadowboxing, I'm very aware I don't have a target, so I'm not gonna overextend so heavy. With the bag, I can really rip in so I can overdo it. But for VR, it's like a weird combination of them both where I have nothing in front of me, but I always overdo it. You know, you always throw real hard, like you're trying to punch through that person's face. The first round, 3 minutes, I'm just gonna flow and see what happens naturally, see how I haven't shadowboxed without my headset in a long time. So it's not like it's, you know, every day, all day. It's always with the headset. So even for me, I'm curious to see how it feels to do a 3-minute round without the headset and without the virtual targets. First 3 minutes is just shadowboxing. You know what's funny is right away I'm noticing that my hands aren't at my waist, and I didn't do that on purpose. I just kind of started. My VR style is very hands low here. I love to play here, not a lot of consequences. But my muscle memory, at least, is telling me to bring these hands back up and throw from my chin. So that's nice. That VR didn't ruin that natural reaction. How much fun would it be, huh? Boom. Round 1 is done. I got a little bit of a glazed donut look going. So now we're gonna move to heavy bag work. I'm gonna get some gloves on and throw heavy for 3 minutes. So that's a lot more of a commitment. You know, shadowboxing, I kind of flow all day. But heavy bag, you know, when you know when you're not throwing hard with the bag because the connection isn't there. So I'm gonna do my best to throw hard, give you 3 minutes, and so you can really see what that looks like. My body mechanics, how that changes from VR boxing, or even how the last round was just shadow boxing, how things have changed even from that. All right, 3 minutes of bag work starts now. All right, for starters, I'm sure you can hear it in my voice. The most tiring version of it is that I've done so many VR boxing matches. Shadowboxing, I feel like I can do endlessly. That's no joke. So if even I have learned anything from the differences, and I'm about to do the VR match now, I still think that's gonna take the cake. So we'll see how I feel in 3 minutes. But nonetheless, you got to see what it was like to feel, or at least for me to throw with impact, which feels 1,000 times more natural. Hitting something and then letting that impact here kind of push that arm back, which allows that to go, which allows that to go. Feels very natural. So for me, right away, the bag is my favorite so far. But let's do VR boxing. We'll see how that looks. So let's see how this goes. You know what I'm noticing immediately is that the shadowboxing and bag work has cleaned up my first 10 seconds of technique. So that's nice. Maybe that's the muscle memory. Maybe I just need the start, the prime, the technique. And then I throw like crap right there. Almost fell. Oh shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner is the red corner.
All right, I want to make sure to film this ending while I'm huffing and puffing. So we can be very certain that I am pushing cardio. And it is as tiring, not as tiring, it is almost as tiring. It is almost as tiring as the bag work. The only difference, I guess, would be with the bag work, I can kind of find my pace a little better. I can do what I want. And I can't do that if my opponent is throwing back at me. So now that you've seen shadowboxing, bag work, and now VR boxing, I haven't even seen the footage, and I can tell you right now, because of how odd VR boxing looks, it's the worst one. Again, I don't think our eyes are really used to seeing someone fight nobody, and not really used to not getting impact and then overextending because of that. But regardless, let me know your thoughts. Which one out of the three looked the best for you? And if you're familiar to those workouts, which do you prefer? Is it VR boxing? Is it bag work? Is it shadow boxing? For me personally, if I was going to do one every day, it'd be VR boxing because the competitive nature of it. It's so fun. But I will say the bag work was the most exhausting. And as always, if you enjoy this type of content, check out these other two videos and subscribe right here in the middle.